Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Daniadin bin Muhammad Faiz and my maintain number is 01DDT23F1086 and today I will be presenting about our mini project for Python programming. So for the next slide is our group members. So here is my name. So our program is about student grade management system. Our program is a desktop-based application built using a Python and Tkinter designed to help efficiently manage student academic record connect to the MySQL database. A desktop application for managing student grade and academic record allow user to add, view, and delete student information stored in MySQL database, calculate student GPA based on their subject grade, support generating report and handling file based on data for review and notes. So let's take a look at our coding. So here is our Tkinter GUI. So let's take a look at the coding. So here where the coding start. Master equal to TK. We use Tkinter. So the size is 500 time 500. So for the title for this GUI is Student Grade Management System, and we use a light blue for the background color. So here we declare all the input from the user. So for the first one, student ID is string var, name is string var, subject is string var, and lastly grade is integer var. So next we go for the inside of the GUI. So for the first one is label for the student ID. We use the background color is light blue, and place x equal to 100 and y equal to 20. So the next one is the entry for the input from user. So we declare it as a student ID. So here is student ID and for the string var, and place it to be uh, x equal to 200 and y equal to 20. So for the next one is the same for the name and subject and also the grade, and we use the text variable as we declare on top of here. So here is a name, subject, and lastly grade. So for the next one is for the button. So for the first button is add record. We use the background is green and command is add. For the inside of it, we use all is white so the user can see it clearly. So we place it x equal to 50 and y equal to 180. For the next button is calculate all CGPA. So for the command for this is calculate all. Background is green and inside is white. Place to be x equal to 190 and y equal to 180. So for the next button is delete record. For the command for this is delete, and background is red, inside is white. Place to be x equal to 360, y equal to 180. For the next button is view all record. Command is view, and the background is blue, inside is white. Place to be x equal to 50, y equal to 240. The next button is generate report. Command for this is write report. Background is blue and inside white. Place to be x equal to 190 and y equal to 240. The last button is file append or read. Command for this is append underscore detail. Background for this is orange and inside white. Place to be 340 and y equal to 240. So this is our interface for a user. So this main loop, so it will looping. So that's all from me. I will next pass to the next presenter, Ikmal, to explain about the database. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Muhammad Iqbal bin Harun, matrix number 01DDT23F1051. So today I will continue the presentation for mini project Python programming. Next, for my part, I will explain about the database connection. Okay, so for this line, it will establish a connection to a MySQL database. So for the host, it is localhost. The user, it is root. And for my password, it's 1234. And the database that we want to use is called student. And then it will print if it's the connection is successful. And then this line, it will create a database called student. And this line, it will create a table called student info. And there will be a column for student ID, name, subject, and also grade. Next, we're going to move on to the add function. So for this line, it is to retrieve the input data from the user. So it will get the value entered by the user for student ID, name, subject, and also grade. And also this part, if it's any of these four is empty, so it will there's a message box that will show a warning. There's a message box that will pop up, and then it will say please fill all fields. And then this is to prepare SQL query to insert the data into the student info table. And then if all of these are done and there is no error, it will show a successful message box, and then it will say record added to database. We're going to move on to the delete function. So for this delete function, we only need two input, which is the student ID and also subject. So this line will get the value entered by the user for the student ID and also the subject. So if any of these two is empty, it will again pop up a message box to show a warning, and then it will say please enter student ID and subject to delete. And then this is to prepare SQL query to delete the data from the student info table. And if it's there is no error, it will show a successful message box, and then it will say record deleted if exists. Now we're going to move on, and I will show you guys the program. We're going to do a demonstration. Okay, for example, over here, I'm going to show you guys there is no record. So we're going to add the record. So student ID 1051, name Ikmal, subject is Python, and the grade is 90. And I will add the record. As you can see, there's a message box, record added to database. Click OK, and then I will click the view all records. See, already there's a one record now. I will add another one to Ahmad. Python grade is 93. Add record again. There's a message box, so meaning it's a success. Show record. See, there's two now. Next, I'm going to delete a record. Okay, no, I will show you guys. For example, if there is no grade, I will click a record. There is no message box, meaning there's error. You have to fill all of the fields to add the record. Okay, as I said just now, if we want to delete, we just need the student ID and also the subject. So if we only put the student ID and then we click delete record, there's a warning message box, and then it will say please enter student ID and subject to delete. So we need to enter the student ID and also the subject. Python, click delete record. So if it's success, it will there's a message box pop out, and then it will say record deleted if exit, meaning it is successful. Click OK. View all record. As you can see, there is only one record now. And if I delete another one, Python delete, it's successful. view all record. There is no record now. And that's all from me. Thank
Hi,
you.
my name is Ahmad Fidas Ben Shami. My matric number is 01DDT23F1080, and today I'm going to cover the mini project for Python programming, and I'm going to calculate all CGPA and view all records. In calculate all CGPA, here is all of the code that is responsible for the button for the calculate all function. Alright, for the step one is basically we have to create a new Windows. To create a new Windows, we just put master is equal to 2, and then we just set the size to 500 by 400, the title to all student GPA, and the background color to the color that we just want, the sky blue. Alright, for the step 2, we basically execute an SQL command to get all of the name and grades from the table in the database and store the result in the record. So here is the record. The record is basically a variable. And if there is no record inside, if there is no data inside of the record variable, it will return a message box which says no student record found, right here. And then we just create a new dictionary that is filled with all the names and grade of the students. Now for the step 3 is we have to create a new text frame and center it in the Windows using text.pack, packx 10, packy 10, and then it will center in the Windows. And then we will use a for loop to loop all the name and grade in the dictionary. And then we just average up all the grade in the dictionary and use if else statement based on the average grade to get the average GPA. So if the average GPA of the students is 85 and above, they will get 4.0. If it is 75 and above, they will get 3. Above 65, they will get 2. And above 50, they will just get 1.0. Else, they get 0. Alright, after all of that is done and we got the average GPA, and we then insert the names and student average grade into the text frame. And that's it for this one. And here is some of the example. First of all, we need the database record to not be empty and have some data. Right here we have a student here with a grade of 80 for Python programming and the grade of 100 for web design. And then we average up his grade, and the GPA will be 4.0. Let's see for the second example here. Here we have two students, and the second student got 60 for Python programming, and web design they got 80. So the average grade that he get is 70, and then his GPA will be 2.0. Alright, let's move on to the next stuff that we will cover. We will each view or record. In view or record, here is all of the code that is possible for the view function. Right, for the step 1, it's the same as previously. We need to create a new Windows with the title, which is the database record. The size is 500 by 400. And then the step 2 will be to execute a SQL command to get all of the data for the table in database and store the records, store the result in record. So basically the record is a variable, and when we execute the SQL command, it will get us some data and store of the data in the record variable. And for the step 3, we just create a new text area, center it, and then we use a for loop to insert all of the data inside of the text area. Alright, let's see some example right here. The example that we have is like this. The student ID, the student name, the subject, and the mark. Right here, this is the 2 unit entries, and here is 4 unit entries. And now I'm going to show you the demo. Alright, now let's view all record. In the view all record, as you can see here, we have 4 units entry of data, which is 1080, which is the student grade, Firdaus is the name, the Python is the subject, and the mark is 100. And here we can see that it is the same name, the same ID, different subject, and different grades. Alright, now let's see the calculate all CGPA. For the calculate all CGPA to work, there must be at least one record. Right, let's see. Right now, as you can see, we got the average grade and the GPA for each of the student. As we can see that in the view or record, there is only 4 unique data, 4 unique entries, but in the all student GPA, we will we only have 2 because there is only 2 student and 2 student ID. So we get this. Now that is all for my part. I will pass it to you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Tun Chin Fa, and I will continue the slide. And my part is I will explain about the file handling. And in the file handling, we will use the try exception method, and we will write the file, append the file, and read the file. So first one, I will explain about write the file. So in my Python program, I have created a function called write report function. So inside this function, I will execute select star from student info from the table to show all the data in the table, and I will fetch all the data and store it in a records as a variable. Then I will open a student text file for writing function, and for in the records, I will save the records, and after the program writing the record into the text file, and after it complete, it will show in full that report has been generated. So inside this, we have create a try and exception handling, and if there is some error, and it will say file write error. And for this function, we can know that we will get the report from database. It will generate the report and write the data into the text file, and the data is based on what is in the database. And write the report in text file. Report will be write in format message box, so that report has been generated. Next, I have append or read file function, and the append and read file function I will talk about later. And now we will see the new GUI window that I create for append and read. So I create a master tree for the naming, and geometry I set 400 300, and the title is append or read file, and I set the background color to light blue color. Then this is a button for append and read, and this is the text color, and this is the text that I customize to the size that I want. So if we click append this, we can write some details or information in this dialog box, and if we append, it will append on the same text file that we write just now, and if we read, it will display in the console. So now I will talk about the function. So for the append details function, there are two functions for two buttons. One is for append button, one is for read button. So inside the append button, we will apply the try and exception handling, and append file, we will open the same text file before this and we append the details. And text we will dot get here, and it will put in the file, right into the file, and it show a message box details appended successfully. If there's error, and it will print append error. So for the read button, I name it R file and open same text file, and it will read and print the file content first and print content, then a line for termination, and except is there is not file, it will print the student text file not found. If there is some error to read, it will print the read error. So this is the highlight key point for the function. It will open a window to append custom details to the text to student text file. And to append this button function will take input from the user and add it into the file. Do read, it will read and display the full content of student text in the console. A message box confirm details appended successfully. And inside this all function, it includes error handling for file access or missing the files. And that's all for me. Thank you. And I will continue the demo session for my part. So as we can see, inside the database we already have various kind of records. So we just go to the Tony and we run. So if we want to see the records data in our database, we can click here and we can see all the records in the database. So now I'm gonna to generate the report, and it show that report has been generated, and we click OK. So let's say if we want to read the file, and it show the just now the data in database, and it write into the file. And let's say if we want to append some details, JTMK students result 2025. So I click on append, and details appended successfully. So then I will read again. So it will display like the details under the records. It shows JTMK student result 2025. So, and we can go to File Explorer to see the text file, mini project, and we can see the student text document type. And that's all for me, and I will end the presentation about mini project. Thank you.